a lower body workout for you guys that are doing my isolation at home workouts. There is a lot of things on the internet right now for home workouts, so there is a lot to be going on. But this one's mainly going to be directed at my clients who can use this, but also those that are not actually at Gym Chicks. Just know that when you are working with me at Gym Chicks, you do have a purple book and each plan is personalised. So just be careful when it comes to choosing the weights that you use, the rep ranges that you use, and that you don't injure yourself. A lot of the exercises that we're going to go through today are beginner exercises, and then you can change the intensity if you are an intermediate or an advanced trainer, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we're going to start with the warm-up, which these can be done with a band or without. So they're just a range of exercises that I would probably recommend doing 3 sets of 10 reps on each leg, because a lot of them are single leg work. So, for example, you're going to be doing kickbacks. So you're on both legs, feet hip width apart, pushing your leg back. So you're just basically engaging your lower glute. So where you have that little crease, you want to be pushing back into it. So you feel it, you kind of squeeze the muscle at the top. Always keep your foot flat. By keeping your foot flat, you engage and activate your muscles more. So you can simply do this just like so, or you can add a band above your knees. So these bands are really cheap. You can get them on eBay, you can get a set for £5, which I thoroughly recommend, because you're going to use them when you go back to the gym anyway. They're not just for using at home. So again, just above your knee, doing this movement. The next one, that would be for, we call these kickbacks. Then these ones, I just call these side kicks. Again, keeping your foot flat, taking the leg away from the centre point of your body, and just make sure that you do these obviously on both legs. The next one I'd go for, remembering this is the warm-up, so don't push yourself too much, it's just to activate the glutes. I would recommend doing 10 to 15 just normal squats, which we remind ourselves of the form of squats is making sure that our legs are hip width apart. Some people do actually find the sumo position a little bit more comfortable. If so, please do what feels better for you. Don't let your knees go over your toes. You're taking your glutes down to the floor and pushing up through them heels. Even if you fall off, going slightly off balance, you want to make sure that all the work is pushed through your heels, because that's where it activates your glutes. One thing to also remember with squats is if you go down to the 90-degree angle, you are going to engage your legs and your glutes, but it's more quad dominant. So if we go past that right angle point, which we call parallel point, you then engage your glutes a little bit more. So if you are wanting to focus more on your glutes, then go past that parallel point. The next one I recommend for warm-up is going into what we call crab walks. So you slightly bend your legs, band stays in the same position, but you can do it without band, the same as you can do squats without band, and you're simply moving like a crab. Next one, if you have got a band, I would suggest this one. If you don't, then I wouldn't bother, but if you do have a band, placing your feet together, some people call these seated abduction, adduction, or clams. It's another term. So feet are placed together, but also pushing your toes or heels into the floor, and you are pushing your knees away from your centre point. So just engaging the side of your glutes. Okay, onto the floor. Again, can be done with or without band, but I'm going to show you guys with the band. You're going to be doing fire hydrants. The reason these are called fire hydrants is because a lot of the time dogs pee up a lamppost, and you go into a peeing dog position. Well, obviously if they're male, not if they're elf. So on all fours, keeping your foot flat in that flat position, no pointed toes, and you're simply taking your leg out to the side. So you're keeping it in a right angle and then taking it out to the side of your body. So you're pushing on the side of that glute, pushing it away from the centre. Obviously, the heavier your resistance band, the more hard this is going to be to push that glute away. So just even if you take it out and hold it there for a second and then pull it back. The key is to go slow with this one, because it is time under tension, the longer the better. Exact same thing, but you're going to be taking your legs out to the back. So rather than the side, like you do with the fire hydrant, you're going to take your legs back. Now a lot of people tend to do this swinging motion, so that their back arches, their bums in the air, chest is to the floor. That's not what you want. You want to make sure that your pelvis is tucked under, so it activates your glutes. Your glutes are kind of tight, rather than stuck up in the air, they're tight and rounded. Make sure that your head is rounded and your spine's tucked in. So you are more restricted in how far your bum goes, but it has more activation. If you're just swinging like this, you're not really doing anything apart from arching your back. But if you are rounded and engaged, you activate that glute. Again, keeping the foot flat, not pointed. Okay, so moving on to the workout. The main thing about workouts at home is that you don't have the heavy weights like you do at the gym. So the main thing that we have to do is what we call time under tension, which is doing more reps, holding it in a position for a long amount of time. It's about creating stimulus for the muscles to basically maintain that muscle over the time. It's sad to say, but you're probably not going to grow any muscle during this time away from the gym, but you can maintain it, getting enough protein in and igniting those muscles during home workouts with just isolation moves, as many compound moves as you can, and I would focus on banded work if you do have any, because it's not easy to get hold of dumbbells and barbells, but you can buy bands online through eBay. They get delivered to you, and I thoroughly recommend them because they will just ignite those muscles and maintain that muscle. So the idea is to do more sets and more reps just to keep that muscle going. So we're going to look at lunges today. So again, you don't have to have weights. One thing I would recommend is if you have water bottles or wine bottles, which I know a lot of my clients have got, just take hold of them. You just have to hold any kind of weight. You can do these without weights, like I've said before. So I'm going to show you lunges first. So a normal lunge. You can then have weights with this, or filled water bottles or wine bottles, just adding that extra weight. So if we look at the form, this is a reverse lunge, because obviously we go back. This is a forward lunge because we step forward. It doesn't matter what you do, just make sure that each time you are going down, you're creating that right angle with your front leg and your back leg. And when you come up, you are pushing up through your heels, through that glute. So whichever is your front leg, so you're on that foot, push up. That foot, push up. And that's lunges. And for those, I'd probably recommend going between 15 and 25 reps. You can also do these in walking lunges, which are really intense and really good for the glutes, because you can go through with it each step. Instead of a lunge, step up, lunge, you can turn it into your walk. So lunge, through, lunge, through, lunge. So you're never stopping, it's a continuous movement, which can be that little bit more intense. Another one for lunges can be called the split squat or the split lunges, where one foot is placed on, it could be bed, step, chair, anything, is in that position just behind you. Now, it doesn't really matter how that foot is placed, because you are not pushing off it at all. It is your front leg that is working, and again, your front heel, front quad and glute. And you are just taking it that little bit past parallel point, getting that real deep squeeze and pushing through that front leg. And obviously, do it on the other side. Let's run through squats. We looked at squats in the warm-up. Squats will be very gentle in the warm-up. I don't want anything too strenuous. But when it comes to squats during our workout, we can again add the weight. Ones to look at would probably be the normal squat, which is basic feet forward, feet facing forward, feet in line with the hips, taking it down and up. And again, remembering that we can go past that parallel point if our knees are strong enough and we want that little bit more of a push. I also recommend doing a narrow squat for the glutes. For the quads. So taking your feet in slightly so that they're not hip width, but slightly in, more narrow. Taking it down, focuses more on your quads. You can also increase this by standing on a step. So say this is my step, Take the squat, narrow squat position, heels are raised, again adding that intensity to the quads. Okay? Then the last one I suggest looking at is your sumo stance. So sumo stance is feet at 10 to 2 position, turns out toes. You can either have this in kind of hip width, just slightly wider, or you can take it really wide. So this would be wide stance sumo squat. Taking it to the floor. You really want to take that bum to the floor. It engages everything as you push up through those hips, through those heels. Okay? Taking it down. Again, whatever you can find. It might be tins, cans, bottles. Hold them. And if you have got a weight, hold it close to you. Make sure that your glutes and your legs are lifting that weight. If you hold the weight here and do your squat, you're going to engage your back, which is not what we want. A very popular one for Instagram influencers will be the glute bridge. We see this everywhere, a great one for growing our glutes. With this, you want to do quite a high rep range. It's a small movement, and you can increase the depth of movement by, again, doing it on a bench. The lower you get down, the more depth you've got to push up. So, taking it back to the floor, you would have the band above your knees, weight on your hips, pushing through your heels, tucking your pelvis underneath, pushing your hips to the floor, and hold that weight in place. And again, aim for a high rep range with this. One thing I would suggest to my clients is when you get up into that position, say you've done 15 reps, on your 15th rep, hold it at the top. Hold it for 30 seconds, a minute. See how long you can hold it for, time under tension. And one thing, if you do have a band, would be to include a bit of abductors at the same time. So you're lifting up, holding it, and then pressing that band away. So you've got the up, hold, out. Up, hold, out. Up, hold, out. You've got that whole movement engaging several areas of your glutes. Next one is for the hamstrings. The move I'm going to show you is called a good morning. So you're simply lifting up like this. You'll be surprised this actually works your hamstrings, and the way that we can increase this work is by, again, adding weight. So whatever you have, lift and lower. You're keeping your legs straight, but knees slightly bent. Knees should always be slightly bent, just to keep it supple. You are bending at the hips, the back stays straight. The arms aren't doing anything apart from holding your weight. I see those as ropes. They're holding your weight. All that's doing the work is this part of your leg, the hamstring. It pulls you up. Squeeze at the top to engage your glutes, and lower it back down. Push through your heels yet again. With this move, I would tell my clients to do the eccentric moves in different paces. So we do slow on the way down, quick on the way up. Slow on the way down, quick on the way up. And then we might even switch it up a little bit. So it'll be quick on the way down, slow on the way up, depending on how heavy the weight is. But if you mix it up, then obviously your hamstrings are going to be, well, they're not going to be familiar with the move. Obviously ones that have you have a ball for or a band for do really work well with hamstrings. They're quite difficult to do without anything. It is hard to engage them. However, if you do, I can do another video including moves with bands like these and the glute bands a little bit more. Let me know in the comments below what equipment you do have at home, because if you do have balls or you have a couple of dumbbells, then I'll be able to put a few things together for you. Calf raises, I still do it in my gym workouts today. Simply lift and lower onto your toes. You're going onto your tippy toes and coming back down. So you're pushing through your tippy toes, and this causes the calf, the gastrocnemius, to engage. So one way to up this would be, again, holding a weight. I like to hold my dog while I do that one. Or a step. You've all got a fireplace. So I'm thinking, you know, marble fireplace at the front. Stand on the marble, on the fireplace, with a step, whatever you have, and let your heels drop below that parallel point and push away. Drop below, push away. You can do it on your staircase. it's easy to include that one. Okay, time for tension, last couple. Wall sit, the dreaded wall sit. You're going to sit in a squat and simply hold it for as long as possible. It's a bit like when people say, oh, I want to do the plank. No, it is long, it's painful, it's hard. Time yourself, and each time you do your leg workout, try and beat that time. You can do these on your staircase, and that is step ups. So I'm going to use the bench today, but you are simply stepping up. The amount of activation that you can get in your glutes and your quads from this is amazing. I don't know if anyone's tried the Stairmaster at the gym, but it is horrific. So if you climb up your stairs, or if you miss out a step and go on to the next one, this is where you're going to engage your glutes. And again, if you can, lift some weights, hold on to some dumbbells as you climb. I'll show you from this side. So you get the depth into your glutes. Yeah, it's fine. And explosive work. One thing I would recommend is to keep some exercises in your routine like this, where you are going through sets and reps, because a lot of people are going to go to cardio. They're going to go to HIIT work, they're going to go to runs, they're going to go for walks, because it's the easiest thing to go to. But if you are wanting to maintain muscle, please do include some of these workouts in your routine. But of course, we want to get the heart pumping and we want to incorporate some HIIT in there. So ones that I would recommend finishing with to burn out and fatigue those glutes and those legs are frog jumps, squat jumps, whatever you want to call them. So you're going into that squat position. With the HIIT work, I would suggest turning your toes out. It's just a little bit easier for the knees to cope with the explosive movement. So it's a plyometrics move, deep, low, jump up, point those toes. Get a really good jump in there. And again, go through a lot of them. Try and get 20. Next one, rest, try and get 25. Rest, try and get 30. And end on that. The explosive movements wants to be your last move of the day. So that's the lower body workout for today. I'm hoping to do a core workout, back and chest with bands if anybody has them, and an upper body soon. So yeah, hope this helps you guys. please leave some comments below of what you would like to see, because I'm finally getting the groove back for the old YouTube. So thank you, angels.